Expedition North.
Expedition North. I always knew you were the stupidest Lannister. The Starks and Targaryens have united against us, and you want to fight alongside them. Are you a traitor or an idiot?
You pledged our forces to fight our common
I'll
enemy.
say whatever I need to say to ensure the survival of our house. You expect me to trust the man who murdered our father? You expect me to command our troops to fight beside foreign scum? To fight for the Dragon Queen?
You saw it with your own eyes. You saw a dead man trying to kill us.
And I saw it burn. If dragons can't stop them, if Dothraki and Unsullied Northmen can't stop them, how will our armies make a difference?
This isn't about noble houses. This is about the living and the dead.
Then I intend to stay amongst the living. Let the Stark boy and his new queen defend the North. We stay here where we've always been.
I made a promise.
Our child will rule Westeros.
Our child will never be born if the dead come south.
The monsters are real. The White Walkers, the dragons, the Dothraki screamers, all the frightening stories we heard when we were young, they're all real, so be it. Let the monsters kill each other. And while they battle in the north, we take back the lands that belong to us.
And then what?
And then we rule.
And the fighting in the north is over. Someone wins. You understand that, don't you? If the dead win, they march south and kill us all. If the living win, and we've betrayed them, they march south and kill us all.
The Targaryens and the Starks already want to kill us all. Most of them will die in
I faced them in the field. We can't beat them. We can't beat their dragons.
How many dragons did you see at the pit?
2.
What happened to the third?
For all we know, it's guarding a fleet.
She came here with her dragons and her Dothraki and her Unsullied. She came here to show us all her power. Well, something happened. The dragons are vulnerable.
We can't beat the Dothraki. We don't have the numbers. We don't have the support of the other houses.
No, we have something better. We have the Iron Bank. You should have listened more when Father spoke about the importance of gold. Oh, I know it's boring for you. You just wanted to hunt and ride and fight. But I listened, I learned. Highgarden brought us the most powerful army in Essos. The Golden Company.
The Golden Company.
20,000 men, horses, elephants, I believe.
Yeah.
The Golden Company is not here. They're in Essos. How is a mercenary company in Essos going to help us?
Do you really think Euron Greyjoy turned tail and sailed back to the Iron Islands? Do you think he abandoned the chance to marry the Queen? No one walks away from me. He's sailing with his fleet to Essos. He's going to ferry the Golden Company back here to help us win the war for Westeros.
You plotted with Euron Greyjoy without telling me the command of your armies.
And you conspired with Tyrion, the man who murdered our father, without telling me you were Queen.
I didn't conspire.
You met with him in secret without my consent. You planned to promote my enemy's interests. That is the definition of conspiracy.
I pledged to ride north. I intend to honor that pledge.
And that would be treason.
Treason?
Disobeying the Queen's command, fighting with her enemies. What would you call it?
Doesn't matter what I'd call it.
No way.
I told you no one walks away from me.
No way.
Are you going to order him to kill me? I'm the only one you have left. Our children are gone. Our father is gone. It's just me and you now.
There's one more yet to come.
Give the order then.
I'll do it. Holy shit.
What happened to you beyond the wall? I became the three-eyed raven.
Oh. I don't know what that means.
I can see things that happened in the past. I can see things happening now. All over the world. Why did you come to Winterfell?
Jon's the one to lead the fight against the dead. I know he is. But he can't do it alone. So I've come here to help him.
Bran
He's on
knows
his
too,
way
right?
back to Winterfell
He's supposed to.
with Daenerys Targaryen.
He saw this in a vision. Oh,
He needs to know the truth
the truth about what?
about himself. No one knows. No one but me. Jon isn't really my father's son. He's the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and my aunt, Lyanna Stark. He was born in a tower in Dorne. His last name isn't really Snow. It's Sand.
He's not.
Dornish bastards are named Sand.
At the Citadel, I transcribed the High Septon's diary.
Yep.
He annulled Rhaegar's marriage to Alia. He wed Rhaegar and Lyanna in a secret ceremony.
Are you certain?
It's what the High Septon wrote in his private diary. I don't know why he'd lie. Is this something you can see?
Father, Smith, warrior. Mother, maiden, brother. Stranger, I am hers, and she is mine. From this day until the end of my days.
Robert's rebellion was built on a lie. Rhaegar didn't kidnap my aunt or rape her. He loved her.
Gonna get him this message before he smashes aunt.
She loved him.
Oh,
That's Tyrion. You don't think Tyrion, Joe?
Jon's real name.
His name is Aegon Targaryen. You have to protect him. Promise me that.
He's never been a bastard.
No.
He's the heir to the Iron Throne.
He's the true heir.
yikes.
He needs to know.
In his own horrible way, I believe he loved me.
He did the right thing.
You did it.
I'm just the executioner. You pass the sentence.
It's like Keanu. No, that was you.
Stop
I
calling
think you
me.
did that.
Agree to disagree.
I still don't think you're as good a lady as you. So it had to be something else. I never could have survived what you survived.
You would have. You're the strongest person I know.
I believe that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Well, don't get used to it. Still very strange and annoying.
In winter, we must protect ourselves. Look after one another.
Father. When the snows fall and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies. But the packs and words.
I miss him.
I do.
It's like I was saying before, man, it's just amazing how Ned Stark just lives through this whole series, man. It's just so fucking awesome.
That's the edge of the wall.
Bye-bye, Torben.
Man, no, Barrick, no. Oh, they're at East Watch.
It's a long way down.
Yeah. The crows keep telling me I'll get used to it.
Dragon about to fly through there. Fire.
Can they spit fire or ice?
Ice fire.
Ice fire, bro. Oh, you got a giant.
Just look at that shit right there.
Dragon.
Oh!
Good night, Gracie.
Go.
Oh, shit. And he riding that. Did a fucking run. Oh my. Yo, see, they gotta take the wall has to come down. Damn, we can deal with this shit.
That's so pretty.
Night King, ride the dragon.
Well, that's Tormen's gonna make it. Somebody has to make it to get that
Torben's
element.
fucked.
Yeah.
I think he has to make it.
No.
The guy with the one eye is going to sacrifice himself so Torment can get away. And somebody got to tell everybody else that they're coming. Torment's got to see Brienne.
I know, it's got to.
They've been setting up too much stuff between them.
That's the tragedy.
Whoa! And the wall has come down. Humpty Dumpty would be proud.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Oh.
That's pretty heavy.
Come on.
The North has time because they pretty slow.
Wow.
That's how we said it was going to end.
Walking Dead ain't got shit on that arm.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Oh my god. I knew they were going to... That was a semi-cliffhanger, but we knew that they were going to lead down south towards the wall. I mean, past the wall, but damn, man, to see it like that? Yo, this season has been epic with the visuals and how they've been... Oh my god. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense episode. Just all the way around.
Oh.
I mean, it makes sense that they wrapped up the Peter Baelish stuff now because, especially ending this,
You gotta deal with all this. They don't have, and they not gonna have time with 6 episodes to deal with all this kind of like this infighting, backstabbing, intrigue, and stuff like that. When you deal with 6 episodes and you got the Army of the Dead and the Night King and all them coming.
yeah.
So, oh man.
And I think it'll be enough with, having Cersei not being honest about her intentions. So there's going to be that.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna have that.
John will be fighting. I mean, they'll be fighting a battle on both sides. Essentially, because they'll have to deal with Cersei behind them with her army, the Golden Army, or whatever, and with the looming threat of the Whites coming.
Yeah. Fuck.
So.
Alright, so I guess we're gonna just kind of recap and review this episode. So, alright, what y'all think?
Most of the stuff played out pretty much how I expected it to, which that doesn't take anything away from the episode. I mean, it was a phenomenal episode. It was probably one of the best season finales of the series, I think. But that only is because of all the payoffs from previous seasons.
Yeah.
I said it before, this entire season has been just payoff from seasons 1 through 6.
Yeah, 'cause we talked about that, like all the callbacks to season 1. And then you talk about like that opening scene with the walking and talking. We saw that in the last episode with them going across the wall to capture the Whites, that whole fight. I forgot the episode of last week's episode.
Beyond
the
Wall.
Beyond the Wall, just with them walking and talking, like when we get those moments between like Bronn and Tyrion seeing each other, the Hound and
oh my
Brienne.
god.
I mean, so yeah, the walking and talking, like, in those callbacks to previous seasons, and the wrap-ups and the the resolutions that we get to see. It's just great to see those kind of things in this episode. That's what I loved about it.
I'm curious, Brad, because you haven't been as vocal. I mean, I know you like the show. You recently just got back into it, especially with this season. But I'm curious of your thoughts about the season in general, but also specifically leading up to this one.
I think what you said, there were no major surprises in the episode.
Yeah.
That being said, it was incredibly satisfying to see it play out the way that it does.
Yeah.
And, this season has been incredibly satisfying throughout. We've been waiting so long for these reconnections of characters.
Yeah.
And every episode there's a new reunion, and the Hound and Brianna and the Hound and the Mountain, and Cersei and Tyrion.
Yeah.
I thought I thought Tyrion was done for. I was really scared.
That was a stressful scene.
That was probably one of the most tense scenes I've seen throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
And then Jamie at the end, I mean, I thought, oh no, Jamie's done for. And even though we were, not given any surprising deaths.
Yeah, nothing surprising. Because I think we kind of saw Baelish coming.
Yeah, I thought it could play a different way, but
yeah.
at the same time, I'm excited now that story's wrapped up and we can push forward down south and watch the apocalypse happen.
I mean, in that scene with Peter Baelish's final scene, it was gratifying in how that played out. I mean, that's one of the things that I really like about this show is that the writing of it and how they lay out the plot points and how things tie up and how sometimes they take these left turns or how they're able to get you to a point where you can, like myself, say, okay, I predict this is going to happen, but still have me, again, back to that scene with Tyrion and Cersei, and also between Cersei and Jaime, have someone like me who thinks I have everything figured out, not be so sure and still be on the edge of my seat, because I genuinely thought, well, what if they go left? And it's quite possible. But that scene with Peter, not only because he's getting his comeuppance, but just to see and reiterate the bond or see the growth between Sansa and Arya, to see that while when they were younger, obviously in the first seasons, they weren't the closest.
They're going to be a force next season.
They are, and I think that just that scene and how they interacted and how Sansa interacted, and she stood up and took charge with Peter, and Arya fell back. She just played her position and she let Sansa take the lead. But it also just showed that they have an understanding, and like you said, they are forced to be reckoned with now, and how this season is about the Stark family coming back together, and it has been no more evident and strong as that moment between them two, and I love how that played out.
How about Theon getting his nuts back?
That was awesome, man. There's so many great moments in this episode, man. I think every character has a moment that we've seen throughout the series has a moment in this episode. But that moment with Theon, I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Look at him, particularly as a character, going back to the first season, just being, just loose, just slutty, like he's just all about the women and backstabbing, and then his character arc and being castrated and just put through the ringer, and it's that brief period of time. Well, it wasn't brief, but that period of time where he went through the reek phase and just being put through the ringer emotionally and physically, and then being reunited with Sansa, and then that turn, and then going back to the Iron Islands, trying to be amongst his people, and how how that played out, and then just leading up. The culmination of all that was, I think, that moment in the chamber, which was a great moment for Theon, but for me, I think it was an even more excellent moment for Jon as far as to show his true character. I mean, you get a sense that this guy deserves to be a ruler in a world where it is so dangerous to be that merciful and that kind and that good. But he is a beacon in this land where, and it is a callback to that later on when he won't lie to Cersei.
Exactly.
When everyone else is saying, "Dude, just tell her a lie." She did it. She did what he should have done, but he won't compromise himself, his integrity, because the word and his family's honor and his honor means so much to him. And I just think that moment with Theon being forgiven, everything that Theon did to them, and how it affected Jon particularly, but for Jon to be able to say, at least for the things that I can forgive you for, I do. I think that it takes a big person to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this world where it's built on lying and conniving and backstabbing, and to have a character like Jon Snow who is honorable, who has integrity, and to never waver from that, and in this world where everybody is telling you, like, dude, just go along, just lie so that we can get, even though his integrity and honor is even to, like, the own detriment to their army and to their fight, it's something that he can't go against. And I like seeing that, even though as us as an audience are like, dude, like just pledge your allegiance with Cersei so that we can get on the same page, but his honor won't allow him to do that. And when you step back and look at that, I like that about this character. And to know that he's the true heir to the throne, to know that we could have a king like that.
How about that reveal? We all knew that was the case. Bran is, opening up the knowledge that he has. Yeah. And they're intercutting with going to Bone Zone. I mean, like, is there anything more Game of Thrones than that moment?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was pretty awesome.
Smashing them cheeks.
It was very gutsy to do that. But I think that's them acknowledging that, yeah, we know that they're related, but, so we've been setting up this chemistry for them.
But now how does that play out in the next season when they are going to eventually get that knowledge too?
I know.
And maybe pretty early on.
And that's going to be interesting too, because Dany wants the throne. So what happens when she finds out that she's not the true heir to the throne? Like, I don't know how that's going to play out between her and Jon.
Well, see, I don't even think Jon... You look at the explanation of King's Landing and what that life is like and all those people there and why would anybody want to live here, blah, 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 blah. I don't even think Jon would want to be there. I think Jon would settle for...
He's the reluctant king.
Right. I think he would settle for, let me just rule friggin' Winterfell.
Yeah.
So I think that if Dany says that, she wants to rule... Well, basically, at the end of the day, they just freaking get married, and then they both sit on the throne.
Yeah, they can rotate.
Yeah. I don't know. But again,
But they're related.
They are. But it's an interesting dynamic because if you don't have that, then what's left of them as far as a narrative standpoint? For me, I think it would get boring in that. Okay, we got a whole another one final season where it's just them fighting against the White Walkers. So I think it gives us as an audience some more drama, really. And I think that's one of the things we like about the show is how look at the dramatic effect this particular episode has had on us as viewers. Like we were stressed out over here.
I know.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know. Like, and I think that shot where it shows Tyrion watching. Well, he's not really watching. He's outside the.
He's watching.
He's outside the quarters while they're doing the deed. I think that says something about how he feels about Dany as well, because I think he already knew. He made a reference to being aware of Jon's attraction to her. He joked about it to Jon, but I think it's one of those things where he maybe feels some type of way, because I think Tyrion genuinely feels some type of attraction.
Yeah, but poor Jorah.
Well, Jorah was destined for friend zone.
I can't believe Jorah is still alive.
I did not expect him to make it back from last week's episode, Beyond the Wall. But I think in a way he's giving his blessing to Jon. Like, look, man,
you got Long Claw.
Yeah, do your thing, man. I got no shot. I'm friend zone. I own it. Yeah. So, but this has been a great episode. I mean, this has been a great season.
This has been a great season.
This has been a great season.
I know there's been like some criticisms about it being a truncated season and feeling kind of rushed. But I think even just with the season finale, looking back on the season now, like it was just so much goodness, man, that we got to explore with these characters, and again, just the callbacks.
No padding in this season. I appreciate the fact that it's truncated. If it doesn't need to be 13 episodes, granted, I would like to see more Game of Thrones each week, but if it doesn't need to be 13 episodes, don't make it 13 episodes and ruin a good thing. I tell you what, though, and I told this to Brian. Next year at Comic-Con, that Game of Thrones panel is going to be nuts. For the final season of this particular show.
Yep. The last Comic-Con
panel, it is going to be insane.
I will make sure I'm in there.
We better get in line to Hall H right now.
It's gonna be Saturday. It's called H level of anticipation for that.
It's gonna be Marvel Saturday.
But I think, and there will be have already started shooting, so they're gonna have, because this past year they didn't really show any new footage. Yeah. So next year, they're gonna show some stuff from the final season. But again, it being the final season and Comic-Con's final Game of Thrones panel, I think that's going to be epic. So it's going to be nuts trying to get into that on Friday. That Friday line's going to be nuts.
That's going to be so awesome.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, we're at this moment. You mentioned it before, B, with Brian, and 3-4 years I've been trying to get this man to watch the show.
One day,
yeah, I'll do it. I've given him given him box sets of the show and gotten them back, and he hasn't watched them.
But you watched my sets,
right? And so this last month or two, he decided right before Comic-Con, he blitzed through them, and now this dude is the biggest Game of Thrones fan in the world right now.
I love it.
But it's a testament to that show. This is a great show. It was a great season finale to a great season.
Lion King riding a dragon.
Oh my god, yeah. So I guess that's it. Season 7 is over. We got like a 2-year wait.
It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
That's going to be nuts.
All right.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I think it's 2009. At least it's room. They're going into production next month for season 8. But I know it's going to be in production for a while, so they haven't said when it's going to be released.
And the shooting schedule will be the same as a feature length.
Yeah.
I mean, not a feature length, but a full 10 episode season, because the final season's episodes, all of them are going to be about the length of this season finale.
Time to start rewatching the entire show.
Yeah, and again, if you haven't, if you're watching this for some reason and you haven't gotten on board with the TV show, please watch this show. It is incredible. The production values in this episode were just amazing. I mean, they easily rival and best what is being put out in Hollywood. So there's that. But then the character work, the acting, there's not a bad performer, I think, in this television show. The acting is of the highest caliber. The script is great.
Yeah.
And again, you have some of the greatest payoffs in, I think, TV history, because, I don't know, like, it's just a really good show. It's a really good show. So if you're not watching it, check it out so you can be in the bubble, in the circle, like Brian, and join in the conversation and watch a great show.
It's never too late.
No,
never too late. Believe
this
me.
dude can catch up and join in, and yeah, why not? So yeah.
All right, y'all. That's gonna end this review. So yeah, thanks for watching it. And so for me, I am the Turtle Dork. We got
Mouth Dork,
and we got
Disco.
And follow us at ITMODcast, and also follow Sidewalk Siren at Sidewalk Siren.
She's in the bedroom because she don't give a crap about Game of Thrones.
And with that, we are out.